the everything engine and the fox in the coma house, or the evidence for consciousness. Welcome to Chapter 10. There have been many organized groups working on the problem of consciousness, and they have made great strides, even in recent years. One of the interesting ways they did this was to study various patients with brain lesions, some patients being in comas, while others were not. Some of this work was also done by Michael D. Fox and his fellows at the Laboratory for Brain Network Imaging and Modulation. To start out with, let's discuss some of the things that have already been gleaned from physical evidence that helps define consciousness. 1. There were found to be two flavors of brain waves, which are categorized as arousal and awareness. Arousal, also known as wakefulness, is regulated by 5 different neurotransmitter systems. These 5 all originating in the brainstem. Awareness is regulated by neural systems that were found to regulate attention by reducing the effects of some thoughts compared to others. There is a lot of research to support this, so I will leave links in the transcripts, or you can just do an internet search for them. Let's compare the first bit of evidence to the logic of the everything engine. You could see with the everything engine that it's a sphere divided into 2 halves with physical aspects on one side and psychological ones on the other. As you can see, the everything engine renders this duality. And also, don't get confused with the arousal sensation from Dr. Lisa Feldman Barrett's research. I didn't actually know about these terms, arousal and awareness. When I go back to my original notes, I categorize the group of equatorial aspects into similar words: needing and thinking. Number 2, arousal and awareness, making up consciousness, was found to be a group activity amongst various parts of the brain and body. This means that indeed, your liver can affect your consciousness. How? Well, your liver is doing a couple of things. When your liver isn't busy removing toxins, it creates a crucial underlying chemical compound called progesterone. This molecule is a natural steroid and hormone that is sent to the brain where it becomes other hormones while still supporting yet other hormones. As itself, progesterone does things such as regulate female reproduction. You can make too little, but too much is released through your urine, which is incidentally how the first samples were extracted in 1923. All of this is still in alignment and has logically been described inside the everything engine. So let's move on to number 3. It was believed that there was a central point somewhere maybe in the brainstem, and researchers finally found it. It was found that both these flavors, arousal and awareness, crossed a specific section in the brainstem, a section called the tegmentum. And more specifically, the rostral dorsolateral pontine tegmentum. That may sound like a needless amount of words, but many medical words are trying to tell you where something is. So rostral and dorso and lateral are all directional words. Here's a picture of a brainstem. You can see the different parts are numbered, but we only need a few of these numbers. Look at the number 6, and it's in 3 different places. This whole area is the tegmentum. The pons of the tegmentum range from the numbers 8 all the way to the numbers 13 and 14. You can kind of think of the area number 11 as the central area. And Dr. Michael D. Fox, who is also the Associate Director of the Berenson Allen Center for Non-Invasive Brain Stimulation at BIDMC, gave this quote with the research report. For the first time, we have found a connection between the brainstem region involved in arousal and regions involved in awareness, 2 prerequisites for consciousness. A lot of pieces of evidence all came together to point to this network playing a role in human consciousness. This means that my very idea of a central core is not just acceptable, but required in any mathematical 2D model that would be created to represent the brain and body relationship. And guess what we have, folks, right here? That's right, we have a central core. So you might be asking, hey, Dr. Fox, why work with coma patients? Coma patients acquire the type of lesion that shuts them down. Your brain can actually handle lesions normally. You can actually give yourself little tiny brain lesions by simply repeating a word so many times that the word itself begins to disassociate with your mental image of it. It goes away after a few seconds, but that is what's happening. Lesion, 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 lesion. Occasionally, some coma patients do wake up for reasons unknown. And the reasons why people fall into comas to begin with isn't quite clear either. Some believe that if you could find the reasons in the brain that causes these things to happen, you can reverse engineer its consciousness and wake people up. Thus, coma patients allow for a lesion effect matching brain game to be played by researchers. If possible, waking up coma patients would make an excellent pragmatic exercise in trying to verify the legitimacy of the everything engine, beyond its self-evident symmetry, of course. Maybe one day a treatment will be accepted based on the stimulation of the whole system, designed in such a linear format that it is able to tease the consciousness back out to start spinning again. Humans are important, all of them, even the ones in comas. How we measure human systems is actually the next chapter in this series. It is a tender topic, but as with the other topics we've covered, the math wins out as the hero everyone can admire. Up next is Chapter 11, the everything engine and the rotational math needed to measure a growing human system. Want to learn more? Review the evidence or experience more questions being answered? Subscribe, like, and comment. Let us know what your favorite questions in life and science are. We will keep posting. Visit our website, theeverythingengine.wordpress.com, where we have posted the art, transcripts, and other useful things. Thanks again for watching.